Oh, I've never been happier. I'm gonna cry today too. No big deal. No big deal. I feel like a fly on the wall in a conversation I don't want to be a part of. I don't know what page it is because I can't flip there fast enough. She's toast, but I will be entertained. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another 24-hour reading challenge. This is a spoiler-free reading vlog, by the way. We do not spoil around here. I'm excited to get started. We are doing a little twist because I'm only going to be reading romance books because today, at least where I'm at, is Valentine's Day. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit the little like button. If you want to see more content from me, make sure that you're subscribed. And if you want to see even more content from me, I just launched a Patreon. I did. I have a lot of fun things in store for all of us over there, but also early access, Patreon exclusive videos, vlogs, literally anything you name it, it's gonna be happening over there. I do wanna give a shout out to my patrons that I have so far. I literally launched this yesterday and some of y'all are already here. I'm so grateful and I can't wait to see what the future has in store for us. I love y'all, but without further ado, let's talk TBR, shall we? Normally when I do these videos, I do 24 hours straight. I'm not doing that this time. This time we're gonna do, I wanna do 12 and 12. We might even drag it a little bit into Monday, so we might do like 12, something. We'll have to see. I just need to be a functioning human this week, and I know if I do 24 hours straight, I'm gonna be down for the count for a few days, so we're not gonna be doing that. But with all that said, normally I can do 6 or 7 books whenever I'm reading for 24 hours straight. So I'm kind of thinking if I take a little break, I'm able to sleep, I might be unstoppable. Like I actually could be a machine. And since this video is coming out on Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day, by the way. If you don't have a Valentine, I'll be your Valentine. Since it's coming out on Valentine's Day, I'm wanting to do rom-coms. So not only am I a fast reader in general, but if you give me a romance book, I'm unstoppable. So I need options, and I have options galore. Let's talk through them. These 4 right here are my priority TBR. I will be reading these today, and I think we're gonna start off with this one. This is Beg, Borrow, or Steal by Sarah Adams. I know nothing about it except I think it's 2 rival elementary teachers. And that sounds cutie. Next we have Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonam-Young. In my last 24-hour readathon, I read Out on a Limb, so I feel like it's very fitting that we're gonna continue this little series. Also, I think this is a marriage in crisis story, so it might be a little more heavy / hard-hitting, and I think adding in that variety will really help me during this reading challenge. Unromance by Erin. I haven't seen anyone talk about this book. These 2 people, and both of them are never wanting to fall in love again, which leads them, I don't think it's fake dating, but I do believe that they are going through like a set of romance tropes and ruining it for each other, hoping that they will never end up falling in love. I think. Last one on the priority TBR is Perfect Fit by Clare Gilmore. I don't know a single thing about this. Don't ask me, but she's pretty, she's cute, and she's screaming Valentine's Day. Here are the ones that I may or may not get to. Don't hold it against me. This is my palate cleanser. Guys, this is called I Got Abducted by Aliens and Now I'm Trapped in a Rom-Com. That sounds hilarious. That literally sounds so funny. And this thing is under 300 pages. I'm gonna cruise through it. We have The Love Lyric by Christina Forrest. I've never read a Christina Forrest book, but I've heard great things. My only hesitation is I'm not the biggest fan of books that involve a musical element, and clearly this involves a musical element, but I do have some exceptions, so this could be an exception. And also, if I do read it and my only issue with the book is the musical element, like that's not gonna affect my rating any way, shape, or form because I know that going in. I know it's a me problem, not a book problem, but hopefully it'll be an exception. These last 3 are all Book of the Month Club books. I have this bad habit of buying multiple books from Book of the Month every single time a new box drops, and I don't read them. I don't, and I need to. We're gonna cull through the TBR. So we have, is she really going out with him? I believe this is single parent and her kids are the ones who set her up on these dates. Hilarious. This one is You Between the Lines. I literally got this one on a whim because of the tagline. Y'all, the tagline says, she can't stand him, he can't forget her. We love a man obsessed. We do. And finally, we have Wedding Dashers. Someone compared this to Leap Year. The rom-com with Amy Adams. I love that movie. I love it. And I need a book like that. And I am begging, pleading on my knees that that's gonna be this book. That is the plan for now, but y'all know that I'm a mood reader, and so I could really switch up the TBR at any second. I really could. I am gonna start with Beg, Borrow, Steal, and with all of that being said, let's start the clock, shall we? Let's pull up our 24-hour timer. And yes, I am doing 24 hours, and I'm just gonna pause it whenever I go to bed, / if I'm taking a pretty decently long break, we're pausing that thing. We're pausing it. We are not cheating over here. right off the bat, they hate each other. Literally starting off with an email exchange, and it goes, all my worst, Emily. This is gonna eat. I fear this is gonna eat. Okay, sorry, not sorry. This is gonna be a little chatty of a vlog because I'm on page 10 and I'm actually obsessed. So we just learned that Jack is our arch nemesis since college. He moved away. He's supposed to be getting married today. And some lady at the beauty salon, because, you know, they're gossiping up a storm here, goes, yeah, well, it turns out he's not getting married today after all. The entire wedding was canceled a few weeks after he moved away. How strange is that? And our main character is just like, my heart is resuscitating right now. Like, he's not getting married today? That can't be true. He's coming back? What does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? I'm kind of obsessed. It says, why am I hoping that this is true, that he's not getting married and then he's coming back? Are we having like a weird second chance and that's why they're arch nemesis, or like unrequited love? I hope it's unrequited love. I will report back. I will. Ooh. Let me show you all the part in the book, by the way, because the way she has this set up, my heart is fluttering. So this book is phenomenal. Genuinely, I'm on page 32 and I'm loving it. And I know saying it's phenomenal on page 32 is risky and it's brave. So brave of me. But so far it's everything I've wanted. The banter, the bickering, the tension, the fact that there's two POVs, and so you have this one person being like, I've always hated him, and then we flip to his POV. None of this is a spoiler, by the way, so do not be fearful. We don't spoil around here. But we go to his POV, and it's like, yeah, I've always just felt like this weird drawn to her. Immediately thought she was the most beautiful woman I ever laid eyes on, and then we just started fighting and bickering, and that was just how our little rivalry went. So he just canceled his wedding. He's back in the small town of Rome, Kentucky. He runs into our main female character. Her name is Emily, by the way, in a coffee shop. He's literally sitting at her table that she always sits at, and he thinks this, and I quote because it's so good. He goes, I've been blaming that loneliness for my constant thoughts of Emily. I haven't been able to get her out of my head, which is why I'm back in Rome. Not just because I've always liked this town and wondered what it would be like to really be involved in it, but because I need to prove to myself that this weird tug I've been feeling to come back to her is a fluke. Like how people in the desert will hallucinate and see visions of water when they're dehydrated. I was just lonely, and so my creative mind concocted a ridiculous narrative where Emily seems to mean something to me. Are you actually kidding me? Like, are you actually kidding? Oh my gosh, I literally had to run and get tabs because I know I'm gonna tab up a storm and I've already done 3. I'm gonna get back to reading because this feels like a lengthy little chat, but I'm feeling really good right now. So far, if I were to predict what I would rate this, it's at least in the 4-star range. Not him just buying the house next door to her. They are now going to be next door neighbors. This is gonna be messy. This is going to be messy. And I'm living for it. I'm living. I don't think I've ever lived more. Oh, that needs a tab. Let's do pink. And he didn't know. He didn't know. It wasn't on purpose that he bought the house. It just happened to be the house next to her. This is giving Invisible String. This is literally giving Invisible String by Taylor Swift vibes. Oh. Wow. I'm living for the drama. Oh, I've never been happier. Okay, yay! taking my sweet time with this book, and I'm not even mad at that. This is where our timer is at right now. If you can see it, we have about 21 hours left. And my update is the exact same. The exact same. I am tabbing as much as I possibly can because I have a feeling this is gonna be 5 stars. It really reminds me of Beach Read, like in the best way possible. It reminds me of Beach Read. Like if that is your favorite Emily Henry book, this is for you. It has that Rivals feel to it, or like Nemesis feel to it. It has the fact that they've always understood each other, even from college, even though it looks like they hate each other, and it's just, it's good. It's swoony. It's amazing. What other words do I have other than I'm so happy? I am literally so happy right now. I'm on page 165, by the way, and I'm literally just trying to soak up as much of this book as I possibly can while also taking my time. Because I don't want it to end, but also this is such a great book to start this readathon on, so even though it's kind of slowing me down a little bit, I'm not mad at that fact at all. I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna scream, but I'm gonna contain it. But oh my god. I need a tab. I need a tab, and then we're gonna breathe, and then we're gonna read. This is why slow burn is just superior. This is literally why slow burn is superior. Everyone take a breath. Inhale, exhale. Okay. My face is so red, but it's so good. The slow burn persists. The slow burn is still happening. We're not a burnin' currently, but I really think that might be the most romantic scene I've ever read. That was so good. I don't know what Sarah Adams put in this book, but I'm actually obsessed. The slow burn is still there. It's lingering. And that was just so romantic and well done. And I'm just dying on the inside, but loving. I'm suffering, but I'm happy about it. I did it. I did it. I did it. I did it. I finished it. This was great. This was 5 stars. We literally just started off this video with a 5-star book. How is that actually possible? Look at all my tabs. This was actually amazing. This book literally reminded me of Beach Read mixed with the Love Light Farm series by B.K. Borison. That was insane. And she set up the next book, and I'm gonna be obsessed with the next book because we're getting, I don't even know, like, I don't even think it's like brother's best friend, like families, like best friend's family's son? I don't know how to describe it, but it sounds like it's gonna be good. I'm not even gonna be dramatic with y'all. This is gonna end up in my top 5 for the year. It was that good. With all that in mind, let me tell you what this book is about. We are following Emily and Jack, and from the moment they meet, they become enemies. He spills his iced coffee all over her, and from that day forward, she's like, you are my nemesis. Fast forward like 12 years into the future, he was working at the same elementary school as her. They were both 2nd grade teachers. He left halfway through the year because he was going to get married. She learns that he actually canceled his wedding and he's moving back to this small town, which is Rome, Kentucky. She's afraid that her town is basically going to choose him over her because everyone always loves him, and she's always someone that's very reserved and like a tough nut to crack, if you will. So she's trying her hardest to run him off. Would you know, would you know, would you know, that the house that he buys within this small town is literally the house next door to her. So they are now next door neighbors as well. Fantastic. The banter, top tier, 10 out of 10. I'm gonna need each and every one of y'all to read it, and as soon as you read it, please come back and let's talk about it. Like, please, because I'm going to need to talk to somebody about this book. I'm gonna have to. No one fret, because I'm not a monster, and I will be reading this book without the dust jacket on. Nobody fret, nobody fret. I am about to start Unromance though. This is by Erin. I'm actually really excited for this one because I don't think I've ever read a book where two people are trying to go through every single romance trope known to mankind so that they won't fall in love. And I just hope that they go through all of my favorite tropes. I feel like the tension, the angst, I feel like it's gonna be there. So I'm very, very excited. Also, this is one of my books from Aardvark, and with Aardvark and Book of the Month Club, their monthly like book subscriptions, I get them and I'm so excited for them, but then they literally just collect dust on my shelf. I have 19 hours and 32 seconds left. That's so bright, so you literally can't even see that, but that is completely fine. I did take a little bit of a break just because I needed to walk around a bit, but I completely stopped my timer because I am too competitive to not actually see this thing through. And for those that are concerned that I might not be eating or drinking throughout the day, I did fill up my Stanley and my husband is currently on his way to get us Chipotle for dinner. It's a good day. It's a good day. We love going from a book that was first person POV to third person POV. It's a little jarring, just a little bit, but we will adjust. We will adjust. You are a rom-com person, this book is for you. Whether it's rom-com books or you just love a romantic comedy movie, this one is literally for you. They're talking about Love Actually, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, When Harry Met Sally, and like going through every single trope they could possibly think of to ruin romance for this guy. And then in turn, they're hoping that this will spark some inspiration for her because she is a writer who's suffering from major writer's block. And also, it's just silly. This is exactly what I needed after that 5-star read, because I was kind of afraid whatever I picked up next would put me in a slump, but this, the pacing, phenomenal. The jokes, they're hitting. The banter, present. Present, present. I feel like we're in a good spot. This man is down so bad for our main female character, and I'm literally just eating it up. Like strong black cat golden retriever vibes in the best way possible. I am currently on page 250, so I just have a little bit left. I think we're in the 4-star range right now, but who knows? Who knows what this last little bit will do for us? And with that, book 2 is done. I officially finished Unromance by Erin. I think I'm giving this one 4 stars, maybe 4.25. I'll give you all the full update whenever I do the little wrap up at the end of this video. This was fun. This was literally an ode to rom-com lovers. It leaned into the hilarity and ridiculousness of rom-coms itself. Like any random trope where you're like, there is no way this would actually work in real life. They try it out in here and they laugh at it, and it's just, it hits different, and it was fun. And I absolutely loved the main male character in this book. I loved him. He knew what he wanted and he went for it, and respect. But I also liked how they focused on both their feelings, even though their feelings were obviously the same. They were grappling with different ways on how to approach it, and I found that very intriguing because you don't really see that a lot in romance books. So Erin really popped off. I will be reading more from her in the future. I think I'm about to start Out of the Woods by Bonam-Young. It's a marriage and crisis story, so it's probably gonna make me really sad and tear up. You know what, we're in this together. You and me, we're in this together, judgment-free zone. Almost all of my mutuals have rated this one 4.5 or up. And could you imagine if I have 2 5-star reads in this video? Unheard of, unheard of. So I think that's what we're gonna do. I think so. I should probably tell y'all what time we are at. 16 hours is where we're at. I just want everyone to know that I'm on page 50 of Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonam-Young, and I could cry. I could genuinely cry, and it's not just because of page 50. I could have honestly cried from the first chapter. So, this is going to be a journey for sure. There's that. But I just keep reminding myself, you know what, like this is a romance, a marriage in crisis romance, and we're gonna be getting a happily ever after. It's just, we're gonna be in the trenches for a while, and currently we are in the trenches. Like literally, I feel like a fly on the wall in a conversation I don't want to be a part of. Like, ooh, awkward, but we're here and we're listening, and now it's making me sad. It's making me so sad because our two main characters, Sarah and Caleb, they have literally been together for 17 years. They were high school sweethearts. She literally feels like she hasn't done anything with her life. She feels like she's kind of just riding on his coattails. He provides everything and she's just there. So when he swoops in and saves the day for a fundraising event that she hosted that was not doing the best, it kind of was the last straw for Sarah, and everything just overflowed. All of these pent up emotions and feelings. Sarah and Caleb have spent the last 2 weeks not talking to one another, literally avoiding each other at all costs in their home. Her best friend Wynn says, hey, like, me and my husband were offered to go on like this camping retreat. It's supposed to reignite your love for one another. You and Caleb should go. They're gonna end up going because look at the cover. They're in the woods and they're gonna be getting out of the woods. But we haven't gotten to that point yet. I'm intrigued to see if he's immediately gonna be like, yes, let's go, or if there's gonna be some hesitation. But guys, it's heavy. We haven't even gotten to like the reigniting part of it. And I know that that's going to be like the heavy bit of this book. But it's so well written. Like very, very well written, and I love her writing style. I'm just sad right now. I will keep going. I will give you updates. Hopefully I become less sad, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm sad. I'm sad. I have nothing else to say because not only is it all the other things I gave you in the last update, how it's a marriage in crisis, but also like let's wrap all of this with a discussion on grief. This is a lot for an emotional person. Hello and welcome to Sunday, aka Super Bowl Sunday. I literally went to bed at 11:30 last night, maybe like 11:45, but no one fret because I did indeed stop our timer. This is how much time we end up having left. I don't know if y'all can see that, but we have 13 hours. I haven't hit go yet. We're gonna be up for a while, and that is okay because we're having a good time. It's also a rainy day. Like this is literally perfect, and as I said, it is Super Bowl Sunday. I'm not a sports girly. I won't be watching that. I won't be tuning in. I will just be reading all day. And it's gonna be a great time. I am still reading Out of the Woods, by the way. I'm on chapter 19, and that is, I don't know what page it is because I can't flip there fast enough. It's page 229. I'm really enjoying this book. I don't think it's gonna be a 5-star, and that makes me a little sad because this was one of the books on my 5-star like predictions list. I don't think it's gonna happen. I do think it's going to be in the 4-star range unless something just like goes off the walls, off the beaten path from where we're at now. But I don't know. I kind of wish it was longer, which is really weird since I haven't even finished the book. I do wish we would have spent a bit more time with them like working through their issues, which a lot of the book is that. You are in Sarah, our main female character's point of view. And she's having to work on a lot of things herself, not just in her marriage, but she's going through the grieving process. She's been going through the grieving process for years and years and years because that's how grief is. And I do wish that we would have not only focused on that, but added in a bit more of her and Caleb working through their issues together, if that makes any sense. This could make no sense, and that's perfectly fine as well. But I am having a very nice time, a little bit of a sad time, but that's okay too. It's okay to be sad. We're gonna finish this one up, and then we are going to jump into the perfect fit, and this is the last one on my priority TBR, and then who knows where I'm gonna go from there. Let's get to reading, because guys, we got like 13 hours left. We're gonna be up for a while. So let's get started. Just when I thought it couldn't get more emotional, I didn't think it could get more emotional. Guess what? We're more emotional. We're more emotional. I'm gonna cry today too. No big deal. No big deal. I'm not stressing at all. I'm cool as a cucumber. Sometimes I read books like these where there's like an insane mother-in-law, and all I can think of is thank the Lord that I have such a chill and amazing one. Like, thank goodness. Because I don't know what I would do if I had someone like this. I really don't. I finished it. I was a bit of an emotional wreck, and that is okay. That's fine. I don't know what to write this. I don't know what to write this one at all, because the ending was kind of everything to me. I kind of wish we had a bit more of what happened in the last third of the book throughout the entire book, because, and no spoilers, of course, spoiler free zone, but that last third was so flipping good and so strong. And I don't know where to go from here. In the 4-star range, I know that, but I don't know where. So we will decide that later. And we're gonna start book 4. We are about to start The Perfect Fit by Clare Gilmore. I know nothing about her, but she's pretty. So let's take off the dust jacket and let's get started. Also, my headphones are now charged, which means I can listen to music again. The first sentence is kind of unlike anything I've ever read, and it really cracked me up. Do you ever wonder what happened to the girl who peaked in high school? I think the answer depends on which version of her you're talking about. And in my theory, there are 2 versions, the all-American girl and the it girl. Honestly, speaking truth, we are spitting facts out here. So it explains the all-American girl. It explains the it girl, and how the it girl is probably the one where people in your class are still going back and thinking about her, being like, where's she at now? We're explaining that, and then all of a sudden it goes, anyway, completely unrelated, but I just hit a cyclist with her car. And then in parentheses it goes, not on purpose. And then in another set of parentheses it goes, and technically he ran into me. I am already vibing with her writing style. Okay, period, Clare Gilmore. So Clare Gilmore has been putting in all these like pop culture moments, and normally I don't like that in books, but I really like these. I don't know if it's because like this is a newer book and so like they're very relevant, but she goes, all you did was pout. You were season 1 Conrad Fisher. You were Olivia Rodrigo's entire Sour album on repeat. You were Ken when Barbie took away his Mojo Dojo Casa house. Are we kidding? Those are great pop culture references. Oh my god, this is good. I really like this actually. The banter is bantering. Oh yes. I'm intrigued. Color me intrigued. It goes, I'm halfway tempted to shout after him to ask if he'd mind fixing me too, because I think the way he just slammed into me broke open a wound I thought I'd closed for good 10 years back. Something went down. Also, I forgot to mention, while I'm telling you the synopsis of this book while I'm reading it, that the guy she just ran into, one, she went to high school with him, but two, she was best friends with his twin sister, and she now has no contact with them in any way, shape, or form. So something really did go down. And I guess he didn't like her when they were in school together because apparently she overheard him years and years ago saying that like she was very shallow and surface level, but that's not the way they're interacting right now. Okay, I don't want to be dramatic, but this book is actually so good. Oh my lanta. The reason they don't talk anymore is juicy. Let me just tell you, it is some tea. We're not going to spill it because spoilers, but it's good. It's good. Anywho, they're now having to work together because he is something businessy within her fashion line. I don't know the technical term, but whatever it is. Still like this weird residual like pull to one another that they both have, and there's this line right here. She's like, we should clear the air, and he responds with, yeah, like you're right, we really should. And she says, I don't want us to be a distraction for each other. He laughs briefly and he asks, do you plan to stop existing? I think this book could be a 5-star. I like don't want to be too bold in saying that, but this book is like kind of everything. Here's the cover again because she's gorgeous and deserves a moment to shine. But why aren't more people talking about this book? I don't think I've seen anyone on here talk about this book, actually. It is so good. I'm gonna need more of y'all to read this. Okay, I gotta get back. I gotta get back into the zone, but just know I'm happy and I'm thriving and I'm talking with my hands a lot. That is how excited I am. Said what I said. I said what I said. I am on page 265. I'm almost done, and I have had a smile on my face the whole time. I think this man is my new favorite man to ever exist. I'm gonna have to read her other book. I'm gonna have to. Like ASAP, I'm gonna have to order it. I am obsessed. He literally says, and I quote, I was never meant to be your hero. I honestly think you were meant to be mine. Why do I love that? Guys, we've done it. We've done it. We've done it. We have another 5-star read in this video. This is so good. I am completely obsessed with this one. Like, I'm so sorry, but you will never hear the end of me talking about it. Like, I will talk about this book until the end of time, forever and ever and ever. I absolutely loved both our male and female main characters, but oh my gosh, our male main character, Will, he's the blueprint. He is the blueprint. And I just really love that both of these characters saved each other from themselves, if that makes any sense. And it was just an invisible string. And this is like the second book that I've read in this readathon with an invisible string, and they're both pink and amazing. I think I'm going to do another pink book because I feel like the pink books are what's doing it for me right now. I really do. This is my second one that was pink that was a 5-star, so maybe we can get a third one. So I'm about to start, is she really going out with him? Also, since I'm reading rom-coms back to back to back to back, I think doing one with like a completely different premise than the one I just read will kind of make it so I won't get into a slump. I think this is literally about a single mom who goes on these random dates that her kids set up for her, and that sounds hilarious. That is exactly what I need right now. And again, it's pink, so maybe this video is like read all the pink books and give them all 5 stars. Could you imagine? Could you literally imagine this is gonna be a 5-star? Oh, I'm excited. Okay, let's get into it. And also, we're right at about 8 hours left. So not too shabby. We will definitely finish this one and maybe start another one. We'll have to see. All right, this one is a bit of a slower start than the other ones. Like, it's taking me a little bit just to kind of get into it and find my footing. I thought I was actually gonna set it down, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, You have piqued my interest. I am intrigued and we will continue on. I'm 122 pages into it and so far we are following this woman. She is, I think like 37, 38. Her and her husband got divorced 2 years ago. She goes to work, she's a journalist, and she learns that there's a really big chance that they might get rid of her position. And so she's like, you know what? No, like I can jazz up the column that I write, no big deal. And she ends up pitching the idea of, okay, what if I go on 10 dates, but my kids are the ones who pick out like who I'm gonna go on these dates with. Obviously, her editor is like, yes, that is a great idea, but let's add in like a little extra element of maybe a potential romance. I think that that's the direction it's gonna go in, but I'm also not positive. She has a workplace rival, his name is Will, and he wants this column. And when she pitches this idea, he immediately is like, oh, what if I do something really similar where she tells me what kind of dates she's going on and I'll try and mimic them, but like through an online dating site. I really think that he is obsessed with her secretly. I could be wrong, but I kind of think he's obsessed with her. I don't know if this is who she's gonna end up with or not, but the banter is here and I'm content. Again, slower start, but it's silly. This is a silly time. Oh, also let me just add that these dates are literally horrendous. I've already seen her go on 2. Y'all, they're rough. They are rough and I would not wish them on my worst enemy. And she literally has 8 more dates left to go. There's 8 more. She's toast. She's toast, but I will be entertained. Chemistry is chemistrying. This chemistry is chemistrying and it's happening and I'm here for it. This is gonna be a slow burn, but I'm here for it. This is making me really happy because I kind of thought I was gonna have to set this one down, but I'm not setting it down now. Ain't no way. Only one bed, only one bed, only one bed, forced proximity, only one bed. Yes! This is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Point blank period. Book number 5 is done, ladies and gents, and it is done with about 4 hours left. I think I'm gonna give this one 4 stars. I had a really fun time during this one and it was a very good like palette cleanser from everything I've been reading because it was so drastically different from all the other rom-coms. The beginning was a little slow. It took me a hot second to really get into the beginning, and then also I wasn't the biggest fan of our female main character. Like it took me for half the book just to kind of warm up to her, but I loved the main male character in this. And I also love the fact that it kind of didn't like downright tell you like exactly how this book was gonna go. There were still like little snippets of like, okay, well like you've introduced this character, how is this character going to fit into everything that we're even talking about? And that thoroughly impressed me because I feel like a lot of the times with rom-coms, you just kind of follow the same routine. This one didn't, and I'm here for it. I definitely want to go back and read her backlist because I didn't realize that she's the author of This Time Next Year, and I've heard that that book is phenomenal. And as I said, we have 4 hours left. I think I can read one more book, or at least come really dang close to finishing one. So I think I'm going to read The Wedding Dashers. Let me grab it so you can see it. Here it is, The Wedding Dashers. Someone compared it to Leap Year, and y'all, I love Leap Year. It says, after a case of mistaken identity and an almost one-night stand, 2 stranded wedding guests must find their way to their final destination together. It's under 400 pages, so I do think I might be able to finish this because normally I can read about 100 pages in an hour, give or take. I am wearing down a bit, and we will be switching locations because I've literally been in bed all day, which comfy is all good out. Let me tell you, we love a good schlumping in bed moment. But if I stay in here any longer, I'm gonna be asleep. And then we will have failed this challenge. Random tangent. I can't tell if I like this setup for a 24-hour reading challenge or the other way that I do it because I feel like I'm a bit more productive when I'm reading for 24 hours straight just because I don't know, I feel like I'd like need to get stuff done like where here, I know I can pause my timer. I can pause it and then come back to it. So like last night, like when I got tired at 11:30, I was like, okay, pause. And then I came back to it this morning after I got a few other things done. Almost feels like there's like less pressure doing it this way, but I feel like I'm not as productive. But also, I haven't read a single book under 4 stars. Someone please knock on wood for me over that because I really Don't want to have jinxed myself, but I feel like that's pretty good because the last 2 24-hour reading challenges I did, my star ratings were like 2.5 to 5. So we had a range. And today in this video, we've kind of just had banger after banger after banger. And I can't tell if I just really popped off when I was creating this TBR or if it's the setup of this reading challenge. This is literally so good. Mind the change of scenery. I'm in the farthest room from our bedroom because I don't want to wake my husband up. Anyway, I have not updated y'all one bit on this book because it's fantastic and I cannot stop reading it. This was the perfect book to end my readathon on. I am on page 317 of like 370 something. So I will be finishing this like really flippin' soon, and I have literally 1 hour left. So I don't know what to do once I finish this book. Do I just go to bed? Because I'm definitely gonna finish this before the hour is up. And also, I'm at a 5 right now. Like I am literally at a 5-star right now. And I really don't see anything changing that. This book is so good. Like I'm gonna need each and every one of y'all to go run and pick this one up because I haven't seen enough people talk about this one either. We're following our main character and she's just like, I'm the unluckiest human known to mankind. She missed her flight. She's trying to get to her sister's wedding and she ends up meeting this guy. There's a little bit of miscommunication. He thinks like, oh, like we're gonna have a one-night stand, and she's like, oh, like thank you so much, I can't get a hotel room, we're just gonna share a room. Perfect. Anywho, she is explaining everything like, oh, like I don't like the man my sister's marrying, I've heard his best man is horrible, and he's like, oh, I'm actually going to a wedding too. And what would you know, it's the same exact wedding. She's the maid of honor, he's the best man. They are basically stuck together, forced proximity, trying to find a way to get to this wedding because every single thing is booked, reserved, sold out, like they cannot get there. And so they are just working together. And it's so good. It is so good. It's like all the best parts of leap year, but also add in like a huge wedding aspect. Great. This will be done soon. Done, done, done. I finished it. This was a 5-star. This was beautiful, and I didn't realize this was a debut. This is a stunning debut. It is 12:23 currently. I have 33 minutes left, if you can see that. Maybe, maybe not. I'm going to bed. I might read on my Kindle when I'm in bed, but I'm probably just gonna go to sleep. But 33 minutes left. It might as well be the end because if I start something new, I'm not finishing it. So let's go to future me with the wrap up and see how this 24-hour reading challenge went. Good night, everybody. It's been a couple days since we last talked. A few of my ratings have actually changed. I was going to give y'all a full-fledged synopsis of each and every one of these books, But when I was editing, I realized I already did that. So round of applause for past me. The first book I started this challenge off with was Beg, Borrow, or Steal by Sarah Adams. This is still a 5-star. This will be in my top 5 for the year, and this is one of my new favorite books to ever exist. I don't think I would change a single thing about this book, which is very bold coming from me because normally I have slight adjustments or like little pet peeves. No Karen moments are being pulled over this. I have no notes. No notes, one bit. Please go read this book. Please. Next I read Unromance by Erin. This one is 4 stars. This is a fun time. This is a very interesting take on the normal romance book structure, and I ate it up. And I just want to give a shout out to Erin because a lot of this book should have been cringy because it was really playing up how ridiculous some of these romance tropes that all of us, including me, swoon over. But she takes all of these ridiculous tropes, she takes it, she elevates it and makes it even more extreme than it already is, but somehow took away all of the secondhand embarrassment, somehow took away every single cringy aspect or cringy event that could have occurred from these tropes. She grabbed it, she took it away, and it didn't exist. And I think that's very impressive. I really do. This is the one that kind of breaks my heart a little bit, but that's okay. We're just gonna rip off the band-aid and we're gonna do it together. Out of the Woods by Bonam-Young. I'm giving this one 4 stars as well. The reason I'm a little sad over it is because I really thought this was gonna be a 5-star read for me, but it just wasn't long enough. I needed more from this book. I think it's barely 300 pages. Yeah, it's 315 pages. And I really was not falling in love with this book until the last third. The last third of this book was so strong, and I think if this book would have had the same momentum as that last little bit throughout the whole thing, this could have been a 5-star for me. Like, truly. Next, we read Perfect Fit by Clare Gilmore, and this was a 5. This was a 5. It's staying a 5, and I'm going to actually need all of y'all to help hype up Clare Gilmore because not enough of y'all are reading her / talking about her. Y'all are just not. Let's call a spade a spade. This book is the blueprint for romance books, in my opinion. There is a real and honest and true depiction of burnout in this book. And I really, really respected the direction that Clare Gilmore went with this topic. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna say for Perfect Fit, but also please go run and read this one. And if you read this one or Beg, Borrow, or Steal or the other book that I'm about to talk about that's gonna be a 5-star read, please just come back and talk to me about it. Come back and let's talk about it. The next one I ended up reading is She Really Going Out With Him? This one is funny. I gave this one 4 stars. It would have been a little bit of a higher rating for me, except it took me a while to get into this book. I actually thought I was going to set this one down and pick up something else. That is how much I struggled with it, and then all of a sudden it just kind of clicked into place, which was beautiful for me. This book would be a really good palate cleanser book or a book to kind of help you out of a reading slump. And then finally, I read Wedding Dashers and I gave this one a 5-star. This was the best way to end this challenge. I ended this challenge on a high note. Y'all really didn't see too much of me reading this one because it was so late. I didn't want to talk too much because my husband was asleep. This one was so cutie. It was so cutie. I was swooning and laughing from the get-go. And I will forever be reading from this author. Her writing style, it took me no time to fall into this thing because of it. I just opened this book, read the first sentence, and I was there until the end. There was no stopping me. That is really all that I have though, so thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. Again, if you enjoyed this video, hit the little like button. If you've read any of these books, or maybe they're on your TBR, or if you just want to say hi, leave a comment down below because I would love to talk to y'all. Until next time, I will see y'all later. Bye everyone.